What up? What up? Beautiful day. I'm out in the sun, just enjoying the weather. It's gonna be sunny within the next couple of days, so it's gonna be good. There'll be a lot of sun. It won't be cloudy. It won't be raining so much. So, I like when it's sunny. I like when the weather is good because it just makes my mood feel better. I just feel a lot better when there's more sunshine out instead of it raining all the time. And I know that, as corny as that may be, like, it's true. Like, I enjoy the sunlight. I enjoy sunshiny days more than cloudy days, because it does, I don't know, I mean, I'll survive no matter what, but when it's cloudy and it's raining, it does have a certain effect on my mood. And I've noticed that over time, because when I was younger, I used to like it when it would rain, but now it's changed. Now I like it better when it's like sunny. So what I wanted to talk about for this video is I don't know, I just want to just sit here and chat. I just felt like making a video. Nothing too much, I just wanted to discuss my thoughts on, like, our spiritual journey, and how we all come to our own terms with our ego, and how we're learning about it and we dissolve it. And first and foremost, you won't even know how much control your ego has over you when it's been the controller of your entire life for as long as you've been alive. It takes a lot of silence. It takes a lot of, like, silence and meditation and quieting down, and a lot of time to yourself, to be in isolation, to really hear your soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made me realize, like, most people, like, we're so much controlled by our ego, a lot more than we even realize, actually. Like, for real. There's so much of our life that's led by our ego, our desires and interests, material things, just being a human, just being in this life. It made me realize, even, like, I think of family and a lot of people in my life. A lot of them have just been living through their ego most of their life, and life just keeps moving forward no matter what. And you can spend so much of your life putting in the work and cultivating your mind and doing the meditation and doing the inner work to, like, cultivate a deeper non-physical aspect of your being and your consciousness. Or you could spend a lot of your life just being here like everyone else, like all of us, but you're not putting in that work in that spiritual sense. Like, you could live your life just being I guess like an NPC, but life, no matter what path you're taking, where you are, what direction you're in life, life is just moving forward. And the time that you have is important, because being on the physical plane, you're just here temporarily, and you really do have to make the most of what you have, like, while you're here. Like, it's not, you're not here forever. You're on borrowed time. I think a lot of people tend to forget that within, like, the distractions of their life. They kind of forget, like, they're just kind of like on borrowed time. And that's the point that I was making when I said earlier, like, you could spend so much of your life, like, distracted, but only you have that ability to, like, see what you can do to change it. So you know, getting kind of distracted. Like people are walking by, I just be looking. But nonetheless, it's nice to be out. You know, I'm just kind of, I'm on a low energy-ish kind of. I've been going through some things this past couple of weeks, and I'm just kind of, I am decompressing from all of it, and I'm now just working on getting my energy back. And even that takes time, because you also have to take time to really meditate and to sit with yourself. And you know, let me just get one thing clear here. Like, meditation, when you hear that word, I don't know what you may think of it, but meditation doesn't have to be you sitting on a yoga mat or sitting on top of a rock facing the ocean, or you being in some Buddhist temple in a lotus position, oming and stuff. Like, you don't have to do that. Those are methods, and those are the traditional ways of meditating and doing it. But in actuality, like, you don't have to do that. You don't. Like, meditation is just you having time to yourself, to sit with yourself, to basically just learn to shut the hell up and just be at ease. Being at ease meaning be relaxed physically and mentally. It's okay to have thoughts if thoughts come across your mind, which is going to happen anyway, because as a human you have a monkey mind, so you're always going to be having thoughts bombarding you. It's okay. Just acknowledge what thoughts you have and let them pass. Meditation takes work. So meditation doesn't have to be any of those things that I just said, with being in lotus position at a temple or on a yoga mat in the wilderness. No, meditation is just you. Like when you take a lunch break from work and you sit in your car to decompress and shit, like that's meditation. When you turn off the phone, you put the phone down and you're not on the phone, and you just sit in your car and you get away from everyone at work, and you get away from all the text messages, and you just get away from everyone and everything, and you just sit there you lay back in the seat of your car, and you're just chilling. You're unwinding a little bit. You're decompressing yourself from stress. That's meditation. That's all it is you're just trying to get time for yourself to get some energy back that you've lost, because throughout the day you're expending energy. You know, that's why we all need to have a good rest at the end of the day. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So when it comes to your ego, as I was saying, you know, much of our life is controlled by our ego, a lot more than we even realize. Like, your very actions and the patterns of your own life is led by, I'd say 95% of it is by your ego. Like, a lot of what you're doing, a lot of what you think you like and what drives you oftentimes is not always coming from your heart. It's just something that you think you want. Even the way you react to things, the way you react to people, and the way you handle your interactions with others around you, that's also ego-based too. The way you get triggered emotionally, the way you respond to a situation, it's all conditioning. It's all conditioning that your society and your family and friends taught you. Like, you don't really have your own voice. I mean, it's there, but it's cluttered under so much pilings of like humanity and other people's beliefs that are just piled on top of your true voice, your true calling. Like, it's there, but to reach there takes a lot of depth, and it takes a lot of inner work to find that voice, to find that calling of your soul, whatever you want to call it, that's there to give you like a higher purpose. And you know, like I said, most people aren't able to do that. Most people don't even know that they're supposed to do that. Most people don't even care to do that. Most people have never done that. That's why you hear all the time in the conscious community, the spiritual community, you hear like, you are the living amongst the dead. Like, those sayings are just, they're just metaphors for the fact that when you become conscious in your own way, through your own work, in your own journey, you'll realize that a lot of people in your life, they're kind of like NPCs, and they're not quite on that level per se, you know. They're not really on that level, so, in a way that they're not really doing the work that you are, because they haven't had that calling, or it's just not the path that they're on. I mean, they're just like you, but they just don't know it. It's like, I thought about this the other day, and I wrote it in my notebook. It's like, being conscious is really not a complicated and complex thing. Being conscious, in a sense, is like being aware that you're aware. So everyone around you is aware, whether they're into conscious work or not, whether they're into spiritual work or not. They are still conscious. They're still aware, just like you're aware. The only difference is you're aware that you're aware. Do you get that? Like, I want you to like think about that and sit with that for a moment. Let that marinate. Like, you're aware that you're aware. You know, and a lot of people aren't aware that they're aware. And what's that other saying that you hear? Do fish know that they're in water? The fish that are swimming in the water, do they know they're in water? Like, I don't really know if they do know if they're in water or not. I don't know. But it is kind of interesting if a fish did know. If a fish knew that they're a fish, and they're acknowledging that there's a land outside of the ocean above, up and above, that's called land. You know, something to think about. So being aware that you're aware, that's something that you have the ability to work with, which is, which is a part of your conscious work too. Not everyone is aware that they're aware. And that's why, also with the type of work, with dissolving your ego and shadow work, they call it like the death of the ego, or the dark night of the soul. I mean, that also is not such a complex thing, in my opinion. It's not such a big thing. To me, I just interpret that as the dark night of the soul is just like you, like you're kind of just dissolving your ego. That pretty much just means like basically the things that you think you knew, all that you think you know, that your beliefs, that all those things just become questioned, you know. Because in truth, a lot of your belief systems in your mind, like I said, right through conditioning, are really not they're not written in stone. They're not really real. They're just made up things based on the beliefs of other people, ideologies, you know, that make up your identity, of what you think, or who you think you are. You know, in truth, everything about you is just something that is just everything about you has always just been a product of society. It's never been your choosing and your doing and your own doing. Like, you don't, you know, it's not, a lot of your work is about really finding the truth in yourself. And that's what the meditation is for, the spiritual work. That's what all that is for, is to get through those layers of what society and this world has put on you, so that you can get to the core essence of what you really came here with, which is pure consciousness. And so your whole journey is like going through those layers. That's, you know, so most people don't really, in other words, like a lot of people can spend their whole life not knowing who they really are. And I think that's where, like, the belief in a lot of Eastern spiritual ideologies is like reincarnation, right? It's like you're being reborn again, basically to try to get things right. Like, that's what it is. Like, you've been living in like such an illusion that you have to repeat this because deep down your soul knew something, but you didn't listen to it, and you were so bombarded with distractions that when the time for you came up and your life had come to an end, your soul wanted to attain that knowledge, but it didn't get the chance to because of all the distractions. So it has to reincarnate and basically try this shit all over again because it missed something. It wasn't paying attention in class, so it failed. It didn't get a good grade, and now they have to repeat the course again and come back again next year instead of graduating, you know. That's how you can kind of look at it. Like, for you to really attain freedom is to graduate, and for you to graduate you have to take life as a school and work on that knowledge, put in that work, and you know, dissolve those get through those distractions, get away from them, and dissolve through all those layers, dissolving that ego. Because most people have lived their whole life in their ego, and it is kind of sad because they don't even know it. They're aware, but they don't know that they're aware. You know that you're aware. You're aware that you're aware. That's the funny thing. You're aware that you're aware. That's pretty deep. Really think about those words. And that's where you can have a starting point at what you want to do with your life, where you can put in the work. That's all that it is. It's not complicated. It's just being able to give yourself time to look within and be with yourself and really hear your true voice. You know, dissolving that ego. There's so many layers of your ego that life and people outside of you put on you. Like you that's why, like I said, in the dark night of the soul, I just take that as you coming to the realization, like, God damn, who the hell am I? What am I? What is my purpose? Why do I have all these things? Why do I wear what I wear? Say what I say, do what I do. Why am I into these things? Why am I at this job? Why do I have this family? Why? Like, you're questioning everything because now you're coming into that. You're like starting over. You're emptying like your cup with what it was filled with, and you're starting empty, and that's not always easy because now it's like, now what? Where do I go? What do I do now? Who am I? What have I been doing this whole time? Have I been living a lie? Like, you know, it's true. Because from the day you're born, think about it. Like, you never had much of a choice. For the most part, you didn't have much of a choice on what direction you're going to. You have parents, you have family that guide you, take care of you. They love you, yes, but they're putting you in placements on where they think you should be. They kind of, they're deciding your life for you at the very beginning of your life, which is natural because you're an infant. That comes natural with being a human in the human experience. You're an infant, you're a child, you don't know how to take care of yourself. So of course you're going to have adults and elders and people to take care of you. But along with that, it just so happens that they want to protect you, and with protecting you, which is something that they mean well, now they're going to give you guidance on what to do, how to do it, how to be, how to act. And that's going to be a part of your identity growing up. Then before you know it, you haven't questioned it, you just go along with it. Then at some point, if you get that calling within your soul, then you come to realize, well, what was all this for? What did I do? Why? How did I even get here? How did I become who I am? So that's just a small breakdown of what I think about the dark night of the soul and your awareness. So, and I don't even know what I'm going to title this, but I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure out a good title for this video. I just gotta see it through. So I had a title in the beginning of it, but I just didn't know how to or what to title it with. But yeah, you're aware that you're aware, you know. Maybe that's what I'll title it, and something with the dissolving the ego. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to make this quick video. You know, I wasn't feeling it the past few days. I've been going through stuff, but I'm getting my energy back, and I'm trying to get back on top of things. So, you know, with that being said, this is soul love, peace and love, you know, always peace.